Hey, what's up? John here. I'm at the Red Bull House of Art again. It's the night before the last public opening for our show. So if you want to come see the show one last time, if you missed it the first time around, come see us tomorrow. We're going to be in the gallery from from noon till 4. We're going to be DJing and showing one of the video portrait series that we shot. So I'll do a quick run through of the show, like super quick. If you missed it the other day, we'll put something up eventually. But yeah, so you get to see that a little in case you can't come to gallery hours tomorrow. But really what I wanted to do is go through the record cover posters and show some of the progression and some of the Easter eggs that have existed in some of the works that just kind of are easy to overlook. So the first piece in the show here is our neon diamond, and this is fabricated for us by George Vitus, who is an incredible neon artist, and it's actually sound responsive. It plugs into our mixer, and we had this made for like New Year's Eve 2012, I think. But that's sort of the very first thing you see in the show, sort of the precursor. Oh, there's Schmiddles. Hi, Schmiddles. This is the title piece in the show, the title of the show, DECA Dance, celebrating 10 years of Hope to Death. Yeah, it's this collage we created from a lot of our photos, and it's just sort of the sort of first visual splash. So next up, we have this video portrait series. We brought a lot of our closest friends and people that have been with Hot to Death for a long time over the years to come and share stories and perspective on nightlife and identity and what the importance of a dance floor and what you can accomplish there. And it's really, people shared incredible things with us. I feel really honored by what people shared in this piece. It's in this vanity mirror configuration, sort of to symbolize that space of addressing yourself before you go out for the night. I've always said, you know, Hope to Death is Jon Dones and Ashnoak, and so are you. And we put this mirror here in the middle to sort of symbolize that. And we've got this color changing light to sort of represent the space where you can kind of create yourself and you can try different things. And yeah, so that's that. We've got a couple of collage pieces here by Ash. These are sliced up photos from past shows that we've done together to sort of abstract and sort of create this sort of chaotic image of the party. So if you've never been to our party before, you kind of get this humanized portrait of, you know, who we are as a community, and then you get this abstraction that sort of shows a little bit of the fun, and you know, you get a little bit of a face or a dance, you know, part of the dance floor, these little elements. And of course they're in this gemstone diamond facet sort of configuration, which, you know, is imagery that has been common in our visual lexicon. Next you have the record cover wall. This is all 110 record cover posters. It's really kind of incredible to see them all in one place like this. So this is one of the most exciting things, and I'm going to go into a lot of them here in a little bit. But there's this little display box that has a lot of the different collaborations and ephemera and pieces from things that we've done. These like plaster diamonds again. These are actually, we made a few hundred of these for a movement after party one year, and we plastered them all over downtown. And it was right after QR codes were a thing, and we put the QR codes with the diamonds, and that's how you found out how to get to the party. It's pretty crazy. This is our Disco Zodiac wheel. It's a collaboration we did with Lindsay Cashews. for an event at MoCAD. Gia's here. I don't know if you saw that or not, but she's running around. But yeah, so it's our disco zodiac. All these different symbols have a sort of meaning within our universe, but I'm just going to go kind of quickly through the show. And then our photo wall. This is, called from nearly 70,000 photos in our archive, and there's a few hundred up here. And yeah, a lot of the faces and moments, friends. And it's roughly chronological too. So on this side of the gallery is the early years of Hope to Death. Here we are. This is us from our very first party. And, of course, we've got these sort of anchor images that are sort of more iconic from our archive. And fun fact, Ellen Rutt helped us sort of install this. I called her and I said, hey, I want my photos to look like confetti, and I'm not sure how to do it. What do you think? And she had a cold, but she came through anyway and got us started off on the right foot. So I was really happy about that. Next we have, of course, the club experience that we've created. And at the opening, it was really cool. We had Mike Doyle and Jen Rohde from Dorkwave, just sort of the party predecessor to Hope to Death. One of our main inspirations was Dorkwave ending. Those were super fun and super formative times for us, and so it was really sort of a full circle moment for us to be able to have a couple of the members of Dorkwave come and play our opening. So this is our exploded disco ball. It's 200 pieces of laser cut privacy mirror that sort of create this hypnotic, exploded color splash all over the room. Super fun. We launched that, or started experimenting with that concept New Year's Eve of last year. And then the last installation in the show is called Paradise Lost. And it's this 20-foot long sort of representation of the end of the night. As sort of a ritual, I've always photographed the floor at the end of our parties, and this is sort of our recreation and of that experience, and of the sort of, you can kind of read a floor at the end of the night to tell what kind of party it was, how people had good time, or if it was too messy or too much spilled beer, people got sloppy, all these things. You can kind of, I don't know, it's not like tarot cards or something, but you can kind of read the floor and tell what happened. So yeah, that's sort of the quick run through. Oh, and then of course the Paradise Life sign at the end here. I'll just go back to that real quick. So yeah, and fun fact, Ash's actual debit card is in here somewhere. It's for an old bank account, but we needed some stuff, and how many times at the end of the night has somebody called, hey, is my card there? Anyways. So yeah, that's the Paradise Lost piece. So the record covers, that's what I came here. I just wanted to go over some of these because, we put a lot of work into them. So if you don't know, if you're not familiar with the body of work, every month, instead of a regular poster or something, we pick a record cover from our archive or from our record collection, and we scan it in, and we take out the original information and replace the information for the party that month. And we've done this every month for the past 110 months, and this is that whole body of work. And I wanted to start kind of with what started us off on this body of work. For me, it was really typography. There was this moment where I kind of was looking through our records, and this is actually our very first one. It's actually from a Nico record, and I just became obsessed with typography just from this one record cover. And after I got this record cover, I got this book from the out of circulation pile at CCS Library. It was all typefaces. And I just got obsessed with type, and I got obsessed with specifically this kind of serifed, very serious, austere, classic typography. And so this is really sort of the first exploration of myself as a designer in some ways. And that was really the jumping point for this series. So in a lot of these, there's kind of a visual interplay between the original record and the one and the poster that we create out of it. And so I'm going to go through and kind of point out some of those. Sometimes it has to do with the time of year. So for example, this one right here, this is from a Christian Death record, and it's the Smoking Hot edition. And it was the last month in Detroit that you could actually smoke in bars. And so here it's sort of this arm grasping for their last pack of cigarettes or something like that before you can no longer smoke in the bars. And if you look really close, this is kind of one of those Easter eggs I was talking about. It's kind of this smoke to death. It's kind of cigarette pack just poking into frame. Another one, this is actually from Goon Squad. 8 Arms to Hold You is the record, and this is from our 8-year anniversary, which always happens to be on Halloween. So this sort of spooky skeletal image worked really well for that. This is another anniversary. We always put a lot into our anniversaries. So this is from Depeche Mode, Enjoy the Silence. It's actually taken from the back of the record cover. I have it here actually. So, here's the original Enjoy the Silence in the back with this rose in here because of their 7th year anniversary. We used 7 roses. And also, just sort of, I love this typography. It's so good. Another inspiration, obviously, was Factory Records. Lots of Peter Savell references in these. And so, this is from July, I forgot what year. Maybe 2014. But taken from New Order Confusion. So this is the 93rd record on Factory Records or something like that. Peter Savell always worked the sort of catalog numbers into his work. And so we took that sort of methodology, but replaced it with the date of the party, which was July 19th. Another Peter Saville Factory record is this one. This is September, I forgot what year actually, but Wild Party by a Certain Ratio. It's a 12-inch. And obviously it makes a great record cover poster because, we throw wild parties. But we also kind of used it, this is September, so it kind of has this back to school vibe to it. With the sort of block letters, kind of sporty. But here's the original. I don't know why it's got this sort of airplane motif for Wild Party, but we switched it out with this record player and the headphones. So there's the original and ours. There's a bunch of little Easter eggs that we put into them, and this is another good one. This is an Andre Simone record, and we recreated the entire face of Temple Bar in here accurately to poke into the original. I'll show you the original in a minute. This was a February party that we threw. It was like right after Valentine's Day. And the image that's in the background there, it's actually from an Ultravox record. But the image in the back is from Expo 67. And it was in Toronto. It was a World's Fair. And Buckminster Fuller was his largest geodesic dome he'd created at the time. And it was dedicated to his wife. And it burned down, and I thought for something that's such a huge romantic gesture, and for this being the day after Valentine's Day, this was kind of just like a funny image to use. This is our 100th record cover, and we picked this one because the rose was kind of like this trophy or this award, so it felt appropriate. That. This is from Space Art, and this is like one of our spring record covers, and it's this like spaceman coming in this cold, colorful, into this like sort of springy, earth-like kind of imagery here, and the information is actually written backwards, as it would be if you were, looking at it through like a heads-up display. So you kind of have to look at it closely to see it. This one is from January 2009, I believe, and Disco Obama edition. It's from a Buzzcocks record, and of course it's like a pretty famous record cover, but we switched out the iron that was over the original for this disco ball, and instead of women's lips, if you look really closely, we used Barack Obama's lips. This is one of those things that I don't think anyone would really notice, but there's a lot of little things like that we end up putting in these. This one is one of the most ambitious record covers that we've done. There's a bunch that have a lot of sort of technical things that went into making them. I'll show you over here. It's from SOS band Sands of Time. And where is it here? For this one, we recreated this like airbrush logo from the SOS band and changed it to our abbreviation, H2D. It's definitely one of the more intense ones we've done. This is another Valentine's Day one. It's, Obsession. It's like a weird house cover of the song. And I like this one because we turned it into like a little bit of a narrative. I hope he takes me dancing. I know, I'll take her to Temple Bar. It's sort of cheesy, but it's fun. So these actually were a commission by Bonobos, the menswear retailer. When they opened their store downtown, they wanted some art that was sort of local oriented, and they reached out to us to turn our record cover posters into actual record covers, which was like a really cool thing to be able to do. So this is Malcolm McLaren, Waltz Darling, classic Vogue House record, and this is our version for our 3-year anniversary. And the cool thing about these is that each one actually has a record in it. It's not playable, but we've, put our photographs over the labels. And for each of them, we went through our photo archive and picked a photo that was like a good reference. So this one features John Neely, who is an incredible dancer, an incredible person, and super known for starting the Vogue battles on our dance floor. So, of course, we had to commemorate him with that piece. This one's great. So the front has this, and the back is that. Another sort of like love one. Here we've got Karna and Francois. I thought, man, the hair looked perfect, the curl. It's really fun to go through and pick out, the photos that represented the record cover. So, yeah, I could go on forever on these. There's a ton, but what you should do is come see us tomorrow for the last day of the show. Your last chance to see it. We'll be here from 11 until 4, and you can come here. We're going to be DJing and playing some old tunes of ours and some music from different parties we've thrown, and yeah, it would be great to see you. So anyhow, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow.